I need you to pay it.
Have y'all heard about NSPM-7? I didn't either until today when I was getting ready to watch Grits and Eggs podcast, and someone in the community put in the comments of the YouTube video, look out for NSPM-7. So here I go researching. If you want to stick around so you know what it's about and the importance of this, right? And what to be and how we need to be vigilant. Nonprofits, their donors, and activists striving for a more equal, just, and fair country and world are core components of American civil society. Yet on September 25th, President Trump issued a national security presidential memorandum, NSPM-7, called Countering Domestic Terrorism and Organized Political Violence, essentially adding them to an ever-growing list of what he calls the enemy within. Civil society, nonprofits, and activists thus join segments of academia, the legal profession, public health, professionals, and scientists, and so many others President Trump sees as political opponents and critics, for all of us seeking to uphold the Constitution, fundamental human rights, and civil liberties. It's almost a badge of courage and honor. On its face, NSPM-7 is chilling to read. If anyone needed proof that terrorism and political violence are slippery and fraught, categories subject to political, ideological, and racial manipulation and bias, well, this is it. Let me scroll down a little bit. What NSPM-7 aims to do. The memo is a fever dream of conspiracies, outright falsehoods, and the president's distorted equation of criticism of his policies by real or perceived political opponents with criminal and terroristic conspiracies. It stitches together a few desperate, serious acts of actual attempted or criminal conduct with First Amendment protected beliefs and protests against the president and his policies, and wrongly conflates them as political violence. It ignores what any responsible understanding of actual political violence would make clear. Political violence does not fit into neat ideological buckets, and while increasing in frequency, it remains rare. After all, the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol by the president's supporters is a paradigmatic example of actual political violence. But NSPM-7 pointedly fails to even mention it. Perhaps the most...
I need you to pay attention to what I'm going to say, and I want you to save or share this because some platforms are going to try to take it down or bury it. This is NSPM-7, Countering Domestic Terrorism and Organized Political Violence, and it just got signed. And buried inside of it are a series of traps. It says the government can treat anti-American, anti-capitalist, and anti-Christian views as indicators of political violence. This allows them to target people they will label as potentially politically violent. The goal of NSPM-7 is to give the government the authority to arrest and charge people before they actually do anything illegal. This is about ideology. And pay attention, because NSPM-7 broadly gives them the authority to label and arrest anyone who supports the overthrow of the U.S. government, supports extremism on migration, supports extremism on race or gender, and it also includes going after people who have hostility towards those who hold traditional American values on family, hostility for those who hold traditional American views on religion, and hostility for those who hold traditional American views on morality. And they slipped in civil disorder, which can mean almost anything. All those statements are very broad and ambiguous, and that's by design. When dissent is defined as anti-American, any protest can be labeled anti-American. Question capitalism, you're an anti-capitalist. Criticize Christian nationalism or religion in schools, you're anti-Christian. It's not an accident. Broad language is a weapon. Suppose ICE kicks in some doors in a city and there's a protest. And if you join, even peacefully, they could call that anti-American or civil disorder. You call out a corporation for exploitative practices. They could call that anti-capitalist. Criticize Christian political ideology, you're anti-Christian. This gives them cover to stretch definitions however they want. The worst part, you won't see it instantly, and that's how authoritarian change happens. One day you'll wake up and say, why can't I say this? Or since when is that illegal? This is the playbook. Once they have the cover to treat thought and ideology as threat, they escalate. Surveillance of dissidents and organizers, prosecutions under broad terrorism labels, deploying federal forces inside cities, media and speech control, purging or silencing dissent. I'm not asking you to panic. I'm asking you to fucking pay attention. Don't just shrug and scroll. Share this. Demand your media talk about it. Don't normalize repression, because in a year or 2 or 5, you're going to wake up and look around and think, I should have paid attention. And by then, it's too late. We have to continue to resist.
Okay.
I need you to pay attention to what I'm going to say, and I want you to save or share this because some platforms are going to try to take it down or bury it. This is NSPM-7, Countering Domestic Terrorism and Organized Political Violence, and it just got signed. And buried inside of it are a series of traps. It says the government can treat anti-American, anti-capitalist, and anti-Christian views as indicators of political violence. This allows them to target people they will label as potentially politically violent. The goal of NSPM 7 is to give the government the authority to arrest and charge people before they actually do anything illegal. This is about ideology. And pay attention, because NSPM 7 broadly gives them the authority to label and arrest anyone who supports the overthrow of the U.S. government, supports extremism on migration, supports extremism on race or gender, and it also includes going after people who have hostility towards those who hold traditional American values on family, hostility for those who hold traditional American views on religion, and hostility for those who hold traditional American views on morality. And they slipped in civil disorder, which can mean almost anything. All those statements are very broad and ambiguous, and that's by design. When dissent is defined as anti-American, any protest can be labeled anti-American. Question capitalism, you're an anti-capitalist. Criticize Christian nationalism or religion in schools, you're anti-Christian. It's not an accident. Broad language is a weapon. Suppose ICE kicks in some doors in a city and there's a protest, and if you join, even peacefully, they could call that anti-American or civil disorder. You call out a corporation for exploitative practices, they could call that anti-capitalist. Criticize Christian political ideology, you're anti-Christian. This gives them cover to stretch definitions however they want. The worst part, you won't see it instantly, and that's how authoritarian change happens. One day you'll wake up and say, why can't I say this? Or since when is that illegal? This is the playbook. Once they have the cover to treat thought and ideology as threat, they escalate. Surveillance of dissidents and organizers, prosecutions under broad terrorism labels, deploying federal forces inside cities, media and speech control, purging or silencing dissent. I'm not asking you to panic. I'm asking you to fucking pay attention. Don't just shrug and scroll. Share this. Demand your media talk about it. Don't normalize repression, because in a year or 2 or 5, you're going to wake up and look around and think, I should have paid attention. And by then,
It's too late. Hey, check it out, man. This is Project 2025. Okay? Project 20... Man, let's get it. Where was that? Project 2025. Because I typed it in some while back. But, okay, I'll just type it in again. Project 2025. Okay. Yeah. Let me see. What was it? PDF, I think it was. Heritage Foundation. Let's see. Forward. Yeah, let's go to the Heritage Foundation and see what if I can get it. Mandate for leadership. Bullshit. Nah, this ain't the one I was looking for. Okay. Now, concerning all these people that just got laid off, right? It was a plan. If these plans are enacted, even without congressional approval, 4.3 million people could lose overtime protections, 40 million people could have their food assistance reduced, 220,000 American jobs could be lost, and much, much more. The stakes are higher than ever for democracy and for people. These threats aren't hypothetical. These are real plans. Okay? They've been planning to do this shit. Look, limit access to food assistance to 21.6 million households. They just did that by cutting off people's food assistance, health benefits through the government, right? Okay, they just did that. Okay, they kicked out early Head Start education from 1 million children. They already did that. They cut overtime protection for 4.3 million workers so they could just shut off your overtime whenever. Right? Okay. 33 million people were their Medicare Advantage were cut off. Okay. for Medicare. Okay. They're going to expose 368,000 children in the foster care. Okay. Kick them out of foster care. Really? Okay. They're taking this 368,000 children and buying and selling them to different parts of the fucking world. Okay. These people are insane, man. Okay. 2025. Cuts wages, create unsafe workplaces, and destabilize our economy. Makes it harder for Americans to make ends meet. Restrict reproductive rights and access to health care. Enable discrimination across society. enable discrimination across society. Salakia. Still sick. See polluters loose and undo climate action. Okay. Make education unaffordable and unwelcoming. Undermine government's ability to deliver for people. Cut wages, create unsafe workplaces, and destabilize our economy. Okay. This is Project 2025. This is all Donald Trump is doing. Okay. He's doing this shit deliberately and on purpose in order to bring a governmental, continental, civil divide between the left and the right, which will bring civil unrest and national emergency. Let's go get it. If I can find it, let me see. Hold on.
It's too late. We have to continue to resist.
Yeah. It's been too late for a while, dude. Okay. You just now finding out about it. Let me see if I can go in here and going in here. Come on. Man, come on, man. All right. Project 2025. Come on, man. And its implications. Oh my God, man. This goddamn thing won't let me spell right for nothing. Toward. Oh my God, man. Come on. Okay. Codependency on government. Oh, come on, man. God damn it. See? Man, come on, man. Damn. Okay. Brain chip implants to control the masses. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Detention centers for dissenters. Okay. All right. While it's over here thinking. All right. Biblical persecution and laws. Where was that at? Project 2025. I had it in here. Right. NSPM compliance explained. Right. I've been busy. Yeah. Goddamn animals. Yeah, hold on. Wait. Because I got something for J.D. Vance, about how if something happens to Trump, what the plan is. Jade, Helm, and Noahide laws. We just talked about that, right? Or the dude did. Let's go see. All right, hold on. This is what I typed in. What exactly is NSPM 7 compliance, and how does this affect people of free speech? How will this endanger those individuals who are currently incarcerated in detention facilities? Will this eventually lead to various forms of torture, including beheadings, firing squads, and public humiliation rituals? Would NSPM 7 compliance eventually lead to forced implantation of the RFID microchip program for tracking, tracing, and universal basic income compliance? Yeah, I wrote that down 2 months ago. Hold on. What NSPM 7 actually is. NSPM stands for National Security Presidential Memorandum 7, issued October 2018 under the Trump administration. It is not a law, but an internal directive that focused on U.S. nuclear command, control, and communications. The memorandum's purpose was to modernize the infrastructure that manages nuclear weapons, command, and control to ensure that the U.S. could maintain secure and reliable communication between the President, the Department of Defense, and nuclear forces. Okay, right. And skipping down, it does not contain provisions about speech regulation, detention policies, civilian tracking, RFID chips or microchipping, martial law, or execution methods. You can read the official record of NSPM on the White House archives for verification. Effect on free speech. Since NSPM 7 deals with military communications infrastructure, it has no bearing on the First Amendment or the general population's freedom of speech. Now, we just heard what the man said and what the woman said about this memorandum. Okay, it's going to put your ass in prison for nothing, just for having a personal fucking opinion. Okay, you lose your job, everything, man. Come on, man, with a broad stroke. However, some commentators online have used NSPM 7 as shorthand in conspiracy discussions, linking it to surveillance or censorship, right? The effect on people in detention or prison. NSPSM 7 does not address incarceration, detention centers, or law enforcement. It is strictly focused on nuclear security command systems. Bullshit. We just read an entirely different deal on what they were saying, right? What the chick was reading about, what the dude was saying. Bullshit. See? Department of Homeland Security for Immigration Detention, Bureau of Prisons, Department of Justice, right? See what I'm saying? If there were future abuses such as surveillance, inhumane treatment, or censorship, they would be connected to separate laws or they would be connected to separate laws or executive orders, not NSPM 7. Bullshit. They just broadened NSPM 7 to include separate laws and executive orders, which means all of this is on the table, man. Claims of torture, beheadings, or microchipping. There are no U.S. official government plans or legal frameworks that authorize or prepare beheadings, firing squads, or RFID microchip implantation. Bullshit. RFID implants are used voluntarily in private industries for convenience or security, but are not mandated by any U.S. military or NSPM. The Universal Basic Income, UBI, discussions happening today are economic policy debates not tied to biometric tracking, religious prophecy frameworks, or mark of the beast. Why would AI put mark of the beast? I didn't mention anything about mark of the beast. I didn't mention anything about it at all. No, I didn't. Bullshit. Let's go look at it again. Okay? Where's the mark of the beast in there? Say it. See? I don't say, ain't no mark of the beast. Where? Okay. So whenever you get done, man. All right. The universal basic income discussions happening today are economic policy debates not tied to biometric tracking or religious prophecy frameworks like mark of the beast. Bullshit. See? Okay. NSPM regulates speech or detention. NSPM could lead to torture or executions. NSPM involves RFID microchipping. NSPM affects freedom of speech. I mean, man, see, they're trying to hide it in plain sight. Okay, that's what they're trying to do. Whoa, what's this? If you like, I can also show how NSPM 7 got confused online. Hold on, go back. With other government directives that do involve digital surveillance or emergency powers such as NSPM 13 or Executive Order 13848. What the fuck is that? Okay. What is Executive Order, right? 13848. What the fuck is that? Wow. What is NSPM-13? Hold on. Boom. Okay. What the fuck is that? I didn't even ask for that one. Oh. Oh, really? Okay. It is still writing. Wow. It is still writing. Oh. I don't know, man. This is a different video, man. I don't know. Is it? Hold on. Let's read it then. Wow, man. That's a lot of information. Okay. Executive Order 13848. Okay. What it actually does declares foreign election interference or a national emergency. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. It applies to cyber interference, election hacking, disinformation campaigns by foreign actors. Mm-hmm. Okay, National Security Presidential Memorandum 13. Offensive cyber operations, how the U.S. military conducts cyber actions, delegation of authority to U.S. Cyber Command. Okay, so that's dissent online, right? They could just shut down your videos online now without lengthy approval. It was mainly aimed at Russia, China, TikTok, there you go, Iran, and North Korea. It does not apply to civilians, okay? So if you take that X the fuck out of the way, it applies to civilians. We just heard on the video what the guy was just saying, okay? Let's listen to it again.
Before the door slams shut. I need you to pay attention to what I'm going to...
Not to be a bummer, but from now on, the government might consider a lot of you terrorists. A few weeks ago, the White House issued one of the most sweeping federal directives in decades, National Security Presidential Memorandum 7, or NSPM 7. On paper, it's meant to counter domestic terrorism, but its language signals a much bigger shift in how dissent in America is policed. NSPM 7 orders the Justice Department, FBI, Treasury, even the IRS to coordinate investigations into groups accused of political violence, and it explicitly names anti-capitalism, anti-Christianity, and anti-fascism as ideological indicators linked to terror. In plain English, it's saying if you oppose capitalism or call yourself anti-fascist, that could flag you as ideologically linked to terrorism. Civil liberties lawyers point out that the U.S. has no legal process for labeling domestic groups as terrorist organizations. That power exists only for foreign groups under the Patriot Act. So this memo asks agencies to operate in a legal gray zone, using tools built for Al-Qaeda or ISIS against U.S. citizens. The ACLU calls it chilling and says it's going to suppress lawful dissent. Other countries have gone down this road. Russia has used anti-extremist laws, ostensibly focused on terrorists, to outlaw scores of NGOs and media entities, from human rights organizations like Memorial to the news outlet Medusa. The reality is that FBI and DHS data show most deadly extremist violence in the US in recent decades comes from the far right, especially white supremacist actors. This fact is backed up by study after study, including these from the Cato Institute and the University of Maryland. Left-wing violence does exist, and 2025 did see more left-wing incidents, like vandalism, small bomb threats, and assaults. Researchers note, however, that these attacks are far rarer and far less lethal than those from right-wing extremists. So the groups mentioned in this memo seem less defined by threat level and more by their opposition to this administration.
I need you to pay attention to what I'm going to say, and I want you to save or share this because some platforms are going to try to take it down or bury it.
Okay. And that's basically what they're out to do, man. Damn. Wow. This is crazy. Okay. God damn, man. I was trying to find some more information on them imposters over there claiming to be they've been over there for 2,000 years. I was trying to find some biblical scriptures in it. You know what I'm saying? Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. This is the image that they're trying to set up. Okay? Calling everybody a goddamn domestic terrorist and put you in prison. I mean, these motherfuckers, boy, these Edomites, boy, they are something else. They are really scared that they have to pay for the sins of their forefathers, just like we had to pay for it. Okay? Revelation 2 verse 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. For behold, the devil, Esau Edom, the white man, shall cast some of you into prison, that there ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt by the second death. And the second death is thermonuclear destruction. Isaiah chapter 29, right? Verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and that their works are done in the dark. And they say, who seeth us, or who knoweth us? Okay. Verse 19. Isaiah 29, verse 19. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. Verse 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. Right? That's what they want to do, because we're out watching for iniquity. You know, which is sin added upon sin, added upon sin. Let's get NLT. Right? The scoffer will be gone, the arrogant will disappear, and those who plot evil will be killed. Right? Not the same thing, but, you know, sometimes the blue letter NLT goes off. But anyway, verse 21. That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Says the same thing in Amos. Okay. In Amos chapter 5, verse 10 says the same thing. What the fuck? They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. And the only people that speaketh uprightly, okay, are those here found here. Right? Son of man, Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. Right? And this is basically what, okay, son of man, I have appointed you as a watchman for Israel. Whenever you receive a message from me, warn people immediately. And that's what these video epistles are out to do. We're trying to warn your ass immediately what these motherfuckers are trying to do. I tried to type in NSPM 7 because I heard about it a few weeks before it came out. Okay, about what it is, and it goes against everything of what they're actually saying it does. They made it a broader perspective of what it can and what it cannot do concerning domestic terrorism, anti-Christianity. You just heard a laundry list from several different individuals online that are not so-called black people, okay, that may be domestic terrorists on the white supremacist ideology. You know, it is entirely possible. Don't know. But they're trying to broaden everything and get everybody off the street. They don't want us out here preaching the words of the Most High God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, anymore. Isaiah chapter 58. Okay, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Okay, that's all we were ever supposed to do. But these goddamn devils don't want us out there doing it no more. Okay, Proverbs 1 and 20. Right? Wisdom warns. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief places of concourse, in the openings of the gates, you know, on those street corners where people are going through and they see you standing on the street corner out there preaching the word of the Most High. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long will ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. You know, and the fools that hate knowledge and are in scoffers and mockers are individuals like those Genesis Israelites that turned against the will of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you know, Sakari, you know, ISUPK, and General Tazariak, what's that other motherfucker, General Yohana, Captain Tazariak, you know, that are speaking against the words of the Most High. I mean, Tazariak has his moments where he speaks the truth. I mean, don't get me wrong, but he's still trying to brown nose, ass kiss, and lick the boots of these Amalekite Khazars, those converts over there that claiming to be God's people when they're actually not. Salakia. And then you got what you call him? Agent Orange, Nero 47, talking shit out the side of his neck, writing memorandums and executive orders in order to put you in prison for nothing. All you did was speak how you feel about something. Okay, put you in jail, come to your job, put you in, man, come on, man. We are at the end of this thing, right? Because I have called and ye have refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have said it at not all my counsel and with none of my reproof. You ignored my advice and rejected the correction I offered. And how the Most High offers his correction is through his servants, the prophets, right? Like it says in Amos 3, right? Verse 6, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and the Lord hath not done it? Surely the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. And the Most High offers you correction through his servants the prophets, standing on risking their lives and freedom to tell you what the fuck these Edomites are up to do. This is what they're doing, man. They don't care about you. They don't care, man. All right? They got to get rid of as many people as they possibly can. And then, let's see, what else is, let's see. Well, where was I at? I was there trying to type in brain implants 2020-26. Okay. Okay. All right. Neuralink plans high volume brain implant production. Neuralink plans high volume brain implant production by 2026. Right? Okay. Elon Musk's brain implant company Neuralink will start high volume production of brain computer interface devices and move to an entirely automated surgical procedure in 2026. Musk said in a post on the social media platform X on Wednesday. Neuralink did not immediately respond to a Reuters request for comment. The implant is designed to help people with conditions such as spinal cord injury. The first patient has used it to play video games, browse the internet, post on social media, or move a cursor on a laptop. Right? The company began human trials of its brain implant in 2024 after addressing safety concerns raised by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which had initially rejected its application in 2022. Neuralink said in September that 12 people worldwide with severe paralysis have received its brain implants and were using them to control digital and physical tools through thought. It also secured $650 million in a June funding round. You see what I'm saying? So that's what these devils are out to doing, man. Okay? If they put you in a prison and they charge you with domestic terrorist, you're no longer a U.S. citizen. That means that they can experiment on your ass at any time. Do whatever they want to do to you, whenever they want to do it, and there's nobody that's going to say anything. Because under the DISSENT laws, under Project 2025, and what these devils are doing with NSPM 7, which they just made it a broader ink blot of what it can and what it cannot do, okay, they are going to put your ass in the prison. Okay? Let's go get, right? Where was I at? All right, hold on. Salakia. Let's go find out. 2nd Ezra, right? Verse 7, 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? What you going to do? Okay? We've been imploring you, warning you, standing on street corners, crying aloud, sparing not, where the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has given his secrets unto his servants the prophets to warn you of these impending dangers, and you scoff and mock and talk shit. You get online and you disrespect us and disrespect what the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh was saying through us being spiritually personified, or being spiritually awakened to tell you these things, okay? And how these things apply to biblical prophecy. Prophecy simply means to say before something happens. That's all we're doing, is prophesizing these things to come to pass in your lifetime. I seen a video on TikTok not a few minutes ago that said there won't be a Christmas 2026. Okay? Ain't gonna be a Christmas 2026, man. Fuck that. They're talking about trying to get this shit implemented by July the 4th, 2026. That means the second half of 2026 is going to be hell on earth for American citizens. You have people that are homeless, everything, man. Let me see if I can go back. Boom. Where was I at? Boom. Check this out. Listen to this.
After this Christmas, time speeds up even more and goes into hyperdrive. And months now seem like days. And calamities will come right on top of one another with no break in between. And these calamities, they will be staggering, even earth-shaking. Emergency measures will be called by the government, but it will be too little, too late. I talked to a lot of people that you would be shocked how many people are being laid off right now and right before Christmas. And not after Christmas like normal, but right before Christmas. And the only jobs available are jobs like Uber driver, Uber Eats, DoorDash, those kinds of jobs that pay almost nothing. And you have to rely on tips for most of your wages. Millions will be laid off next year. Millions will go homeless next year. I saw millions of Americans lining the ditches, going out of every town, every city in America, from small towns to major cities. Since all cities had made it illegal to be homeless, the homeless have had to leave every town and live in the ditches just outside the city limit of every town in America. And you think that this cannot happen here? Well, it has already started in many cities across America, and it will be coming to your city. You wait and see. Mark my word. The plight of these homeless, it's terrible. No food, no water, no sanitation facilities, disease run rampant. No campers or RVs are allowed, as they have been banned on streets, even outside city limits. So everyone lives in tents or cardboard boxes in the ditches. Now with all hope gone, they just wait to die. But there is much pain and suffering before death comes for them. I know, because I have seen this. After this Christmas, everything falls apart. Everything you have ever trusted is gone, except for the love of Jesus. Power will become hit and miss, and then we'll lose power altogether. And no power means no TV, no internet, no cell phones, no heat, no air, no lights. Without power, nothing works. And then no fire department, no police, no ambulance, no hospitals, no clinics, no doctor's offices are open. No one to call, and no way to call someone if you end up in an emergency, as you are on your own. Roving gangs of young men will go from door to door, and they will kill everyone and take what they want. Millions of very nasty demons will be released upon the earth in those days, and they will inhabit many, making them do unspeakable things. They will have the power of many strong men. They will act more like animals than men, and they will walk, but not like men.
Okay, see what I mean? Okay. This is what's going to happen, man. Let's go to, right? 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 19. Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Now, what is the sword? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil the Bible speaks of. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man left to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's going on, man. This is what's going to happen. Our people act like it ain't nothing going to happen. I talked to my old lady. I'm like, baby, we need to get ready for this shit, man. But she don't get it. Okay. Okay. She don't get it, man. Ain't nothing I can do. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And you just heard the man, what happens to the pilgrims. Those pilgrims are the poor, the homeless, people that are becoming homeless every day. These devils are going to push this digital ID, which is the infrastructure for the mark of the beast, the MOTB, mark of the beast, radio frequency implant. Okay, but first they have to shut down the system, and they have to crash the U.S. petrodollar. So this way everything becomes useless. You go 3 to 6 months without power, everything you just heard the man just say is going to come to pass, especially in the biblical scriptures. Okay, it's concerning what's going on. Let's go get Luke chapter 19, right? Verse 43. Luke chapter 19, verse 43. For the day shall come upon thee that thine enemy shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee. They shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. And the Lord has been visiting you through his servants, the prophets, crying aloud, sparing not, lifting up their voices like trumpets, standing on street corners and the places of concourse to tell you the truth to your face, and you're not listening. You drive right on by, you don't give a shit. You know, hell, I caught a goddamn fucking cold and pneumonia, and I'm still trying to get over it. You can hear it in my voice. You know, sorry, y'all. Salakia. You know what I mean? Standing, risking everything to tell you what these devils are trying to do, man. That's what these animals want, man. They don't want your ass alive, man. Okay? That, you know, the Son of the Most High sent his servants, the prophets, to tell you these things, but you just won't listen to us, man. And these things are going to come upon you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Okay? 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 20. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that would come into it. What type of devices? You know, we're reading it. NSPM 7, that's a device against you to turn whatever you say against you. They're going to use your listening devices against you in a court of law. Your phone is now a listening device under the Patriot Act and all of these other executive orders that Donald Trump had been signing since January the 20th. He declared America was in a state of national emergency at the time that he was installed as president of the United States. So America has been under a state of national emergency ever since. That's the reason why he's been signing all these executive orders back to back to back every day. They just moved $17.8 or $17.9 trillion worth of the United States American currency and worth of your petrodollars, your direct deposits, into at the Bank of International Settlements. These people, they at the Bank of International Settlements, they rule without any authority, any governmental oversight. You know, they have diplomatic immunity. Okay, they can do whatever they want to do with your money. Okay, everything is being set up while your back was turned, while you got a goddamn a Christmas tree in your fucking house. Okay, while you've been celebrating New Year's Eve, blowing shit, shooting up in your yard, wasting bullets. Okay, you're gonna need them fucking bullets when these people come to put your kids coming to your schools. Okay, putting your kids 17, 18, 16 years old, putting them in the motherfucking National Guard, training them for military service. Okay, this is what the plan is, man. These people don't give a shit about you or your children. Okay, 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 21. And I saw it and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. Okay? That's the reason why we go into Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. Because the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai says 2 parts therein are going to be cut off and die on this side. Right? You heard the video. Groups of young men are going to come kick your goddamn door in and unalive you and take whatever they need to take. Okay? And let my grape be kept. That grape are the elect of the house of Israel. Those that have been predestined to receive salvation here in these